Good afternoon, people. It's just me. It's about 4:30, as you can see, on a nice cool Saturday afternoon here in Lenexa. Um, if you have been following the local and state politics here in Kansas in the past couple of months, you would know that we have a primary coming up. This coming Tuesday on the 7th of August. Now, my district, I got moved around between districts because of this mess called redistricting, and we have some folks who need to be removed from office now because of the redistricting fiasco. The biggest example is State Senator Tim Owens of Leawood. He gerrymandered his opponent out of his own district, namely Greg Smith. He was running for Tim Owens' seat, and Owens cowardly rewrote the boundaries on his opponent. He moved Greg Smith's house eight houses outside the district, which is a cowardly thing to do. Now, all that being said, it would do my districts. I'm now in House District number 30, which the current the incumbent is Ron Worley, Worley, and his opponent is Lance Kinzer. Lance Kinzer is currently the representative for the 14th district, but district number 14 got parts of it got combined with the 30th district, and so we got that. So I already voted. I voted for Lance Kinzer for House District number 30, and for Greg Smith for Senate District 21, a new Senate district. Now, for those who don't know who Greg Smith is, a little background here. In 2007, for those living in the Kansas City area, may remember the Kelsey Smith murder case, where she was kidnapped from I believe it was a Target store in Overland Park, and she was kidnapped and murdered. And so that's how. So Greg Smith was steadfast in working on this piece of legislation that helps find kidnappers, kidnapped children, and bring their captors and murderers to justice. And so we got Kelsey's Law here in Kansas, and this law has helped big time in the Alicia DeBolt murder case in Great Bend. I think that Kelsey's Law was directly responsible for quickly bringing Adam Lagoya to justice. He should have received a death penalty, but that's for a discussion for another time. So Greg Smith has been steadfast in that. He believes that we should have more control, more local control over our taxes and funding and stuff. And so he along with Lance Kinzer both believe that if we want to raise or lower our taxes, we should do it as we see fit, without any interference from the state. So if he wanted to lower taxes, we should have that opportunity. If he went, we should be allowed to vote. The public should be allowed to vote for raising or lowering their taxes as needed. So, more flexible control, and both are steadfast on voting for the Kansas Health Care Initiative. Unfortunately, it failed to pass because of the lacks of Tim Owens, John Vattil, I think that's how his name's pronounced. I apologize if I butchered that name up. So, and they will fight for our freedoms. I mean, we got to manage our money a lot better than what we have. So that's why I voted for both Greg Smith and Les Kinzer for their respective seats. Another one is Frank Danning. He's the current sheriff of Johnson County. And Frank Danning has been very effective. I believe Danning has received the endorsement of Newton Chief of Police Jim Daly. Now, I met Jim Daly once when he was sheriff of Barton County in the late 80s. And even though Sheriff Daly is a double amputee, he did not let that drag him down or anything. And he was a very good sheriff for Barton County. And he is also, not only has he endorsed Frank Denning for a sheriff, he's also endorsed Greg Smith, which I was surprised by that. So us conservatives have to bring Kansas back in order. We have to restore values back to Kansas, common sense, which has been lacking for many years. So if you hadn't voted yet in the Kansas primary, and you live in Johnson, not just Johnson County, the rest of the state, but since I live in Johnson County, I mean, I go with that. So if you haven't voted, you absolutely need to, because we got to bring the state back in order, and also, I also voted for Kevin Yoder for the Kansas 3rd Congressional District. There's a few things I didn't particularly agree with Kevin Yoder, but he has voted each time for a budget in the House, which the Senate has obstructed on doing. The Senate has never passed a budget on Capitol Hill for over 1,000 days. And the Senate is in derelict of duty, because right now the Senate is currently unconstitutional in the sense they have not fulfilled their constitutional duty of providing the budget. Now, so Yoder has been steadfast on that. He's voted each time to repeal Obamacare. Unfortunately, the Senate is being obstructionist, mainly because of the likes of Harry Reid. And before I leave, you may have heard the stuff about that so-called protest of Chick-fil-A. Now, let me stop those loons right now who are trying to protest Chick-fil-A just because a company, their president has stated his opinion about marriage being between a man and a woman. He's free to speak his opinion, okay? If you don't agree with a company because of what someone there said, you are under no obligation to go there. If you don't like what they say, just take your business someplace else. This is a free country, okay? And now, I also saw about some thugs who vandalized I believe, I don't know which Chick-fil-A restaurant it was, someplace in California. I don't know which one, Vacaville or something. Yeah, it was vandalized because of so-called people of tolerance, like a lot of these liberals. It's just ridiculous. You got liberals who claim to be tolerant, but they are about as bigoted as any other, because they don't want us people of the Christian faith to demonstrate our faith. So it just only demonstrates the hypocrisy of the left. Now, I also heard about a bill that Congress has passed prohibiting protests 2 hours before and 2 hours after military funerals. And we know it was written in such a way it doesn't state Westboro Baptist quote-unquote church by name, but we don't know that. Now, unfortunately, I think this law may be overturned. It technically is unconstitutional, but however, I do liken this to a typical noise ordinance, where you can't yell fire in the theater, and you can't blast your stereo at 2 o'clock in the bloody morning. I think it's similar to that, which that so-called church needs to lose its tax-exempt status. That church only consists of members of the Phelps family. Now, Fred Phelps is a disbarred lawyer, okay? He was disbarred by the Kansas Bar Association about 25 years ago. And, yeah, in fact, the Phelps, that church is prohibited from stepping foot on Kansas land-grant colleges, such as KU, KC, Wichita State, and Fort Hays State, and Pittsburgh State. Okay, yeah, they got restraining orders against them. So I hate to say, I think that this law it's technically unconstitutional, and they got the bloody SAU going haywire over that. But what I find ironic is that the SAU is actually defending Chick-fil-A. So, I mean, they are defending Chick-fil-A for their First Amendment speech. The SAU is kind of iffy at best, but I do applaud them, give credit where credit's due. So anyway, that's enough of my rambling.